I am a motivational speaker and I deal with extreme social anxiety. I have for much of my life. I started being a motivational speaker about 10 or so years ago, a little less than 10 years ago. Um, and I've been studying self-help and I've been studying ways in order to feel better for many years. But before I started doing any of that stuff, a few years before I began learning about self-help, I was terribly anxious. I'd stuck in my house in my apartment for like 2 years, not really stuck there. I put myself there. I didn't want to interact with anybody. I just felt terribly anxious whenever I was in social situations. I mean, I'm the type of person, I never complain at a grocery store about the self checkout. Okay. Any way to diminish my interactions with human beings, I am totally happy about that. At least I was happy about that. It was so bad. Like I'd get onto the bus, and if the bus driver said anything to me, like "Hi, how you doing?" greeted me in any friendly way, I couldn't leave out of the front of the bus. I couldn't handle the bus driver talking to me again. Hey, salut, ça va? Bonne journée. Couldn't handle it. All right. Terribly anxious. Terribly, terribly anxious. Well, one way that I found to deal with that, I try to come up with these ways in order to deal with my severe anxiety. And what I did was, and don't judge me, what I did was, please don't judge me. You can judge me a little. Go ahead, judge me a lot. What I do is that I would go to public places and I would find people with knapsacks and I'd walk behind them and I would I would unzip their bag a bit and I'd steal something from their bag, right? And then a few moments later, I would go in front of them and say, "Hey, I think you dropped this. Hey, I think this is yours." And they'd be like, "Oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you. That's so great. You're so kind." And I did it because I just wanted someone to be happy to see me, you know? My anxiety made me feel like I wasn't good enough, that people wouldn't like me. I recognized that I wasn't a good person on the inside, and I felt maybe on some level people could notice that, but I just felt like people wouldn't like me. And to have that moment where someone was just happy to see me, just for those seconds, it felt like everything. So I stole stuff from people's bags and I gave it back to them. And it was a creative solution to my anxiety, a creative solution to finding a way to feel better. And that's what I'm doing with Happy for a Change, is trying to find a creative solution in order to improve things. And I'm trying to discover the virtues of selfishness and cater my message to those pleasure seekers, cater my message to people who are interested in self-help. You want to improve your life. Do you know that the self-help industry, according to Market Data Enterprises Inc., in 2017 totaled $9.9 billion, right? That industry totaled $9.9 billion. I mean, think about it. That's a lot of money. And I'm thinking, you don't have to spend all that money for self-help. Those books, those seminars, those retreats, I give them. And I want to let people know, look, you don't have to come to my seminars or buy my services in order to feel better, okay? It's great and it's useful, but you don't have to do it. Okay, if you can buy 3 Deepak Chopra books this year, buy 2 and donate 1 to some platform like Kickstarter, Indiegogo, some crowdfunding platform, some project that you feel is deserving, that you feel should exist in the world. And then when you give your money to that, watch as it accrues and as it flourishes, and then watch as it impacts the world. I mean, it's so much fun to be engaged with something, to be directly involved with something, far more than any book, I think, or seminar can give you. I know from personal experience that my anxiety began to diminish when I got engaged in the world, when I made it my business to be engaged in the world, to interact with other people, to empathize with them, to help them. It made me feel better. And honestly, I don't help other people for their sake. I do it because of me. I do it because it makes my life worthwhile. It gives me purpose. It feels good. When you're engaged with the world, you will feel empowered. And empowered is how you want to feel. All positive emotion to some degree is the feeling of empowerment, and all negative emotion to some degree is the feeling of disempowerment. You want empowerment. You don't want to be positive. What you want is empowerment. And when you become engaged with the world, you'll feel more empowered and you'll feel more enthusiastic about life. You'll feel hopeful, you'll feel optimistic, and you'll look forward to tomorrow. And gosh, is there anything more valuable than being excited about tomorrow? I don't steal from people's backpacks anymore. Just to be clear, I don't do that anymore. Okay.